And let's now together raise our Kundalini and put ourselves into Bandha. So let us now place our feet into the foot soap water. We can bring our attention with our hand to the top of the head, just so our attention reaches the Sahasrara. And let's take the right hand towards the ground to balance the left side. Left hand is up, palm facing up in our lap. And with our attention on the left palm and on Sahasrara and on the left side, let's ask Mother Earth, please absorb the problems of my left side. Please remove all my dwelling past, all nostalgic attitudes that I have. And please remove this fear that comes from conditioning of all the things that happened in the past. And please, Mother Kundalini, awaken this power in me of the left side, that I know that I am worthy of your attention, that I'm not guilty or in any way unworthy, but that it's your love who takes care of me, and that I am your child. Now we'll bring our right hand back on our lap, and let's lift the left hand up into the air, balancing the right hand side. Allowing all the heat from the right side to just be absorbed into the ether. Mother, please remove this heat from my right side. All the planning, all the worries about the future. Let me feel how much you take care of me, how much I can trust you. Let me feel that complete trust that you are the one taking care of my future and I don't need to worry. Now we'll put our hands back, down towards the ground. We can bring our attention to the base of the spine. And here we can ask, Mother Earth, please clear my first chakra. Mother Earth, please absorb all the problems, all the stuff that's been preventing my first chakra to spin freely. Mother Earth, please let me feel the power of innocence. Let me feel this joy of being completely innocent, without a thought of cunning, of anything sly, just enjoying. And please remove all my negative attitudes or negative thoughts. So we'll bring back our palms on the lap. And let's now take the left hand onto the liver. Here we'll ask, Mother Kundalini, please come into my liver. Please. This organ that supports my attention. Now we'll swap hands and take the right hand on the central nabi, so the third chakra, right on the tummy. We'll take the right hand. Here in the center is the Navi, the third chakra. And we'll ask Mother Kundalini, please come into my Navi. Please remove these materialistic attitudes that I have. Everything that's making me dissatisfied. Let me feel complete inner peace and satisfaction, through which I can become generous. And around this third chakra is the void, Bhavasagara, or we call it the ocean of illusion. And we'll ask Mother Kundalini, please help me cross this ocean of illusion. Please cross this ocean of illusion. So that I can become my own master and also accept you as my teacher. Let's bring now our hand to the heart. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Again, fill the lungs, the upper lungs with air, and just hold for a while. Allow this air element to fill the heart chakra. This is the element of the heart chakra. Then exhale. Mother Kundalini, please come into my heart. Mother, please make my heart larger, stronger, so that love and compassion flow freely and always. Now let's bring our hand to the forehead. Wrap the forehead around, put the hand around the forehead. Let the head rest. Mother, please come into my head. Pierce these balloons of ego and conditioning. Let me feel your presence in my head. Open up my Agya chakra. And we can say, I forgive. I forgive myself and I forgive everyone. And let's now bring our hand back on the back of the head. Let's Allow the head to lean backwards into the hand and just ask for forgiveness here. Let's say, Mother Kundalini, please forgive. We do that without any feeling of guilt or even thinking what possibly could have we done against um, our spirit, our Kundalini, but we just ask, please forgive me. I've done ever anything against my spiritual son. Please forgive me, Mother. And now we'll press on top of the head, slowly massage this chakra, the seventh chakra, Sahasrara. And let's ask, Mother, please enlighten my Sahasrara. Please let me feel the connection to the all-pervading power. Let me feel this oneness with the power of divine love. You can bring your hand slightly above the Sahasrara, just so you feel vibrations where they come out, where they're most concentrated. Then you can bring your hand back on your lap. Keep your attention above Sahasrara, and let's just for a few minutes still stay in foot soak, enjoying this clearing to happen. So now we can rinse our feet, get rid of our foot soak water, and be back like in a minute or two so we can continue with Shrimataji's talk. So we will continue now with our meditation. I did explain a lot about the right side at the beginning, and today's Shrimataji's talk is very straightforward, doesn't need any introduction. So we'll simply bring ourselves back into meditative position with our hands up so we can feel vibrations while listening, and our attention on top of the head. And Eli, if you're ready, we'll just start with Shri Mataji's talk. So just stay, don't let anything disturb you. We'll get to the talk soon. And after the talk, we'll do a little shorter meditation just for the right side to awaken these powers of the right side, and then have another session of silent meditation. So just stay with your attention on Sahasrara. So Eli, if you can hear me, it's time for the talk.
Yes, I am sharing my screen now. Are you able to see it?
No, it's still the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. Let me do it again. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Now can you see?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, good. I will also, yeah. Okay, that's good.
Capacities on the right hand side. Like we think of the future. Now we're planning, we start. It's planning. Now we must do this tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We have to do it, and we start sitting. Now I'll go there and I'll find this, and then I'll take a ticket, and then I'll go there. I mean, our mind is working for the future. So much so we become absolutely futuristic. To such an extent, sometimes I've met people who are futuristic, they even forget their own names. Can you believe it? I mean, they don't even remember their father's name, that's all right, but even their own names they forget. I mean, they're like mad because they don't remember their own names and they don't know where are they, what are they doing. I have met people of that kind who are really sick people because they have become so futuristic now that they do not know anything about their past. Now, this futuristic behavior starts in a society where people always think of the future. What will I do? What am I to do tomorrow? What am I to achieve tomorrow? And all these things, when they start doing, their attention goes to the right extreme. Now, in this place, we are very dangerously placed. Very dangerously placed when we start looking for the future. And the future seeing is a imaginary stuff. Is absolutely imaginary. Because what you think of the future doesn't exist. What exists is the present. You have to be in the present, not in the future. But people will say you have to be in the present. But how? We cannot. Either we are in the past or in the future. Because when the thought wave rises, it comes up and goes down. Another thought wave rises, goes up and comes down. Now, this thought wave which comes up, we go with it, but we don't see it's going down. Another thought wave that rises, we see that, but we don't see where it goes out. And so we are jumping on the cusp of these thoughts and we do not know. Perhaps we are in the past or perhaps in the future. But in the center of these two thoughts, there is the present. And we don't know how to take our attention there, which is a very difficult thing. And just to say that you should be in the center is not possible. All these things, you should do this, you should do that, is not going to work out unless and until there is light. For example, there is no light in this room. And you say, walk straight. You cannot walk because you can't see where is the passage, how to walk. Even if you order, do whatever you please, you cannot just walk straight without touching any of these chairs because there is no light, you can't see. So one has to understand that in the futuristic life when we live, when we plan too much for the future, actually what we are doing, we are living in an imaginary world. we have many stories of people who lived in imaginary worlds and how they found that everything was destroyed. And there are people who work it out through their physical efforts, and when they go into their physical efforts, they create another problem for them because they just become physically oriented. And if you are just physically oriented, the spirit gets angry. So the right side movement is for the people who are very meticulous, you see what you can call the people who are very particular about the time, and who are very firm about things, who are very dry people, and who are very straight and they won't tolerate any nonsense, that sort of people, you see that you find normally, and that sort of people become a headache and they are very boring. You can't just bear their company, they can be very boring people. And they give you big lectures about how to be straightforward and how to walk straight, absolutely. In the nature, nothing is straight. It all moves so beautifully because the nature is created out of varieties. And variety brings the beauty. They don't think of beauty, they don't think of love or compassion, nothing. For them, it is a very meticulous world, and that's how they live. Such people are developing a big ego within themselves, as you see there. Is a yellow stuff in the head called as ego. Let me show. By the action of the left side, emotional side, we develop a superego, but by the action of the right side, we develop an ego. Now this ego is not easy to be seen, because if you have a superego, you have pains in the body, you are a miserable person, you have wrinkles on the face, and you look absolutely worn out. But if you have ego, then you look so dynamic. We can say that Hitler was the extreme of this ego business. And he got into his head that he is some sort of a God incarnation, and that he has to save the people, and he was the one who knows about races and everything, and he is supposed to save some race. This kind of idea comes from these people who are right-sided. They are very aggressive. They may be very good to talk to. They may be very humble to look at. Could be very good businessmen. Could be anything. But they do not know that they have this Mr. Ego coming up on their heads just like a big balloon, and they are floating in the air. The end of ego is stupidity. You'll be surprised. The end of ego is stupidity. Such people indulge into all kinds of stupid things, and they say, what's wrong? For example, I've known old people behaving in so stupid ways, and they say, what's wrong? You know, an old man, say, of 90 years, who can't even walk without a stake, stakes to these dances you do, and then he falls down, you see? And he thinks, what's wrong? Like a lady I knew, she was about 85, she died from a horse falling down. Naturally, what else do you expect at 85? That's what is evident. For a lady of 85, she should settle down at home, look after her grandchildren. Maybe she might be having great-grandchildren, you see. Instead of that, why does she want to be 25-year-old lady to climb on a horse? So all such stupid things they do, and then they will say, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong in stupidity, what's wrong? But such people are a nuisance to the society, to others. The people who are superego are troublesome to themselves. But those are egoistical are troublesome to others. They are all the time correcting others, torturing others, putting their ideas onto other people. And such people can be very, very successful, because nothing succeeds like success. They go on hammering things into the heads of people, saying, now, this is true, this is true. And when you go on saying it, you should suddenly believe, yes, must be so. And such people are much more dangerous, I would say, from the superego type. But for people who do not know the tricks of the superego, they can be very, very, very dangerous, because they are very subtle. You cannot see them. They mesmerize, and they can possess you, and they can be very sly, and they can work out all sorts of methods which you are not aware. So it is not easy to choose which is better, which is not better. Both things are wrong to go to extremes on the right or to the left. Now let's see what happens physically. As I told about the cancer, on the left hand side, that we do, physically what happens to people who are futurist? We have a center, especially for futuristic behavior, called as Swadisthana Chakra, which is in the gross manifesting the plexus called the aortic plexus within us. Now this Swadhisthana Chakra is very important for human beings, especially for people who are developed people. With this chakra, actually, we convert the fat of the stomach for the use of the brain. Now this is the center of the Surya, of the sun. Now when we start thinking, these cells are converted in such a way that they become useful to the brain. Now, if you are thinking all the time you are thinking, then what will happen? I mean, the horns are not going to grow out of that. You are consuming all that. And when you are consuming all those cells, you have to have replacement. And for that replacement, this Swadhisthana Chakra has to work very hard to convert the cells for the use of your brain. Now, when it is doing that, there are other things which this Swadhisthana Chakra has to look after. For example, your liver, your pancreas, your spleen, your kidneys, all are to be looked after by this center, and also uterus for the ladies. Now, when there's only one work is given to this Swadhisthana Chakra, and it cannot do any other work, then other things are neglected, so you develop a terrible disease called liver trouble. Now, liver trouble is another thing that you do not feel yourself. Others know that you are liverish, the way you are hot-tempered, the way you are fussy, the way you always snarl at people, and the way you are never satisfied with anything, the way you criticize others. All this is liverish, and such liverish people are never happy with themselves, because liver looks after your attention. And those who have liver problems, their attention is horrid. That goes like this. See, you cannot keep your attention straight. On the street, you'll walk straight into a car because you are looking at something which you are not supposed to look at. But all the time you are looking at like this, you cannot walk. I mean, you won't find any animal like that who walks like this, but only human beings do it. If you see them on the street, you'll be amazed, where are they walking? They don't walk straight. They don't walk straight, but their eyes are going this way, that way, because the attention is wobbly. The attention is wobbly because of a bad liver. So this liver is a very, very important thing. Now this liver has a special capacity to extract all the poisons from the body as heat. And the heat in the body is to be transformed or should be conveyed to the blood or the water in the blood. And that has to be taken out of your body, maybe as perspiration or in another forms. But what happens? That when this liver is out of gear, it cannot do it. It cannot pass this heat into the bloodstream, and the heat remains in the body, and you really become heated. And that heat makes all these problems.
So we can close our eyes now, and we'll take the left hand to the right side, to the right Swadhisthana. Just go again up the right side. So on the hip or the torso and the leg meet, it's the second chakra. That's where the right side starts. And here the best way to awaken the powers of this chakra is to realize that our Mother Kundalini and the all-pervading power really look after us, guide us, take care of us. And here we can say, Mother, I do nothing. I leave it all to you. You take care of me, of my future, of my family, of everything, of my money, financial stuff. You take care of everything. You are the doer. Now we'll take our hand to the third chakra on the right side, to the abdomen. And here we'll just ask, Mother, please awaken this royal dignity in me, where I'm not distracted, worried person, but a dignified human being. We'll bring our hand, still the left hand, to the right heart. Mother, please come into my heart, the right heart, and awaken this ability to enjoy my responsibilities, to feel responsible for others, to look after others and enjoy all that. So that this heart of action is fully functional and completely powerful. Now we'll bring our hand to the right Vishuddhi, the neck, and we'll ask, Mother, please enlighten my fifth chakra. Give me these qualities of sweetness, of loving expression, completely natural, not fake. And not because I want something, but because I enjoy people. I communicate with love and sweetness. And let's bring now our hand to the ego. Ego is on the left side of the head. We'll put the left hand there. And we can actually just massage, just press. Out of our hands, there's vibrations coming. Let's just give a massage to this ego and vibrations. Mother, please come into my head. Please take all those thoughts away, all futuristic, all planning, all superiority thinking out of my head. Deflate this balloon. Take the pressure of ego away from me. We can bring our hand back down to the lap and we can press a little bit more to Sahasrara just to establish our attention. And we can ask here, Mother, please let me feel your power, your strength. Please let this beautiful connection to the all-pervading power, the divine love, manifest in me. Let me feel that. And the silence. So let's keep our attention on top of the head and on the hands. Let's stay for a few minutes completely thoughtless. Mila, can you bring Shimataji's picture to the screen? Let's just stay on our Sahasrara with our attention just for a few minutes in meditation. So now if you wish to stay in meditation, if you want to stay in meditation longer, you can just leave if you feel good and want to stay. If you want to chat, stay back and we can all together raise our Kundalini and put ourselves into Bandhan to wrap up the meditation. So I hope you all enjoyed meditation. And Ila, I think, are we ending the recording now?